Come here. Sorry about that. Just pick one. Oh, why would you do that?
He doesn't want to be picked up.
Come here. Come on, Jake.
He's
Come on,
fine.
treat. Want a treat?
I think it's worse.
Come on. Come on.
Steven, it's worse that way. Just leave him alone. He'll do his own thing. Sit.
You're sick.
Sorry. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Sorry. Okay, I got it.
Okay, am I going to see comments?
Michelle listeners are weak to connect. Nobody touched it.
They can hear us. We're going to be live where you can see me in just a few minutes. They said they could on the thing. We're going to be live where you can see me in just a few minutes. On the thing. You have to here. Go scroll down. Refresh this because then that showed up for me. Scroll down, see it's on live now. So now I should be able to see if you go full screen with that. I should see their comments as they come in.
I don't want you to see yourself.
Hey guys,
Scroll down, see it's on
welcome.
So
I
now
know
should be
you're
able to see
not
if you go
seeing
full
anything
screen
yet,
with
but
that.
I
should
am
see the
laughing
comments as they come
because
in. I don't want you to see
our little puggle is running in and out, and you're hearing little footprints.
guys.
And
Scroll
he
down,
just
see it's
knocked
on
over.
Welcome.
So
I know
little
you're
lighting,
not
so
seeing
we're
your
trying
screen yet,
to get
but
everything
I am
going
laughing
so you guys
because
can see this.
our little puggle
And,
is
we'll
running
get
in and
this
out, and you're hearing little.
Hey guys,
He
you
just
can
knocked
put it
over.
up like this.
Welcome. I know you're
Yes,
not
my heart
seeing
can
your
go
screen
up
yet,
because
but
that's my
I
standby
am
screen.
laughing because our little puggle is running in and out, and you're hearing little. Hey guys, he just knocked over. Welcome. I know you're not seeing your screen yet, but I am laughing because our little puggle is running in and out.
Guys, since you are online and are watching this little stream, can you hear an echo at all on your side? We're getting a lot of feedback now. It sounds like you're repeating yourself.
How about now?
Can you turn it down? Because I can hear it out there. That's what they just said. Okay, how about now? Are you hearing an echo? Jenny says better. All right, so much better. Okay, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Steven's going to tell me when you can actually see me. Maybe I'll just look in his glasses.
Okay, guys, welcome to my first attempt at a live cooking show here on Facebook. This is a public event, so you can share what you're watching on your Facebook feed, and people can watch along with us and comment. Hopefully, I'll be able to see all the comments as they come in. Right now, I'm looking in the event page, so I can see all the comments that come in there. But I wanted to say thank you so much for joining me on this Thursday night here at a little after 8:30 p.m. So this is, like I said, my first attempt. My husband is quite the guru at all things computer, so he's going to have some really cool graphics going and fun stuff like that. But what I want you guys to do during this live session is to interact with me, and I'm testing this. I'm a little nervous because it's weird talking to myself, but we are testing this because I want to see if this is a virtual party option that I can offer to future hosts to do a little 1-hour pop-in cooking show. So I know several of you guys mentioned that you wanted to do a healthy, and several of you asked for vegetarian, so I figured let's mix two together and do healthy eating with some vegetarian. And I'm also going to throw some chicken on the grill in a little bit, so that way we can, for those carnivores like me who like to eat some meat and not just veggies, we're good to go. So do you have it where they can see what's going on down here yet? He's got this really fun function going on where you guys can see what I'm doing on the tabletop as well as see me. So we're going to be doing a zucchini linguine tonight. So it's super healthy, and I have tricked my kids with this where they'll eat it and think it's pasta. So Sean, I know you're watching in the other room with Gammy. Yes, you've eaten this. Okay, so we're going to be taking some zucchini and squash, and I wanted to show you guys our spiralizer. So the spiralizer is really neat because it works with gravity, which is something I really like about the this version of a spiralizer. I know some of you probably have those ones where your pencil, you're sharpening your veggies into a little pencil and it's spiralizing, and you end up with a lot of extras. There's other spiralizers on the market where you are spiralizing sideways, which doesn't always work well with gravity. So I'm going to teach you how to use Pampered Chefs. So this one just came out last year, and it has been one of my favorite products and a really, really top seller with the company. So if you're looking for a great spiralizer, we got you covered. And you love the double screens. Thanks, Denise. That's all my hubby. He's kind of awesome. And Sydney, I'm sorry it's lagging. Maybe try refreshing on your end. Okay, so the spiralizer has some really neat parts, and it does all come apart, so you can get a really nice clean going on this. But it just has the little dolly here that works clockwise to fit into your food holder, and that's going to hang out right there. And it also has this base that lines up blades, and the blade is in this little guard. If you don't use a blade, Lanisha said we lost sound. Several people said we lost sound. We're working on it. Can you hear me now? Okay, it's back. Thanks, Melissa. Okay, so if you're not using the spiralizer with one of the blades in place, it's going to actually do like a ribboned pasta, which is really neat. But this little blade is, and let me hold it down here. Is that better? Up is good? Okay, so it holds in the guard because you don't want to hurt yourself. And it also is designed so that way this little part here fits right on the spool in your dishwasher top rack, so it can all dishwasher clean. So I'm actually going to use the fettuccine side. That's my favorite, and I think it makes a really good consistency on the noodles. So the fettuccine side is this thicker noodle. The spaghetti is this little baby. And the way that this works is it's going to go right here in the back. You'll see a slot back here, and you just put the blade that you want up. And I do this with the guard on, which I forgot to put on. And when you snap it in place, you know you have the guard on correctly. And then you tighten it up with the guard here, because then it's going to always line up correctly for you when you're using your spiralizer. Okay, so we're going to get to spiralizing because that's the most fun. And let me tell you about the vessel that we're going to be using to make our zucchini linguine. We're going to be using our deep covered baker. So for those of you who have this and love it, comment below why everyone should have a deep covered baker. This one has been my baby for 6 years. Sean is no longer my baby. He's going to be 9. So this one is my Pampered Chef baby. It cooks a whole chicken in 25 minutes in the microwave. It also does chicken fajitas in about 15 minutes, cakes in 10 minutes, casseroles in 18 minutes. Pampered Chef just redesigned it in this beautiful gray color, so it really matches most of the modern kitchens that are going on. But it is stoneware, so if I have any stoners, hands up. Melanie wants one. Woo woo. So stoneware is actually 60% off this month, so if you want to get together for a 1-hour pop-in show like I'm doing right now, we could do that. You can get this bad boy 60% off. But with the stoneware, it goes microwave or oven only, so we're actually going to use this in the microwave. All right, so that's about stoneware. All right, so for the spiralizer, we're going to be using, and I brought my favorite knives. You guys have any favorite knives? Lanisha loves her deep covered baker. Nicole just ordered the mini. The mini's adorable. It's such a tiny little guy. Okay, so these 2 knives are the same except they're different. So they're both the Sentoku. The Sentoku is my favorite knife. What's the best way for you to get the angle higher? So on the Sentoku, you can see the ridges here in the blade. That's actually creates air pockets, so you can cut into things a little bit quicker. So the difference is this little skinny guy here. This one is our stainless steel. It's a stainless steel blade that's been covered in ceramic. They are very, very sharp. That's why everything comes with a cover. We like your fingers. I'm sure you like your fingers. And then, of course, the forged cutlery line, which is an all-time favorite. You can definitely buy these full price. I won't mind. Pampered Chef won't mind. Most of the times my hosts want to get this 60% off or 50% off as a host because they're expensive, but they do have a lifetime warranty, which is incredible. The company loves to stand behind our products. So I'm going to be using this guy. And when you are working with your zucchini, you want to kind of put it into sections that will fit here inside the spiralizer. And it actually is going to show you on the lid that there's a little arrow. So you're actually going to rotate this bad boy clockwise. So what you can see down here, do you have it on big? Okay, cool. As you can see, it's spitting out all this really, really fun spiralized zucchini. And we're going to get to the squash in a minute. So you can do this whole thing and then you have very little waste left, which is nice. So that's only a third. This is a third of that zucchini. So I'm going to go on ahead and pop that bad boy into our deep covered baker. And I am going to do the rest, don't worry, but we're going to fill this whole thing up. And so this is how the spiralizer works. And I know it's kind of boring because I'm going to do this a few times, but it kind of gives you an idea of how this works. Now you will notice here, you see all those seeds? Can they see it? Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to learn where the cameras are. So on all of these seeds here, that's going to it's actually holding the seeds out so you're not eating them. And it's going to hold them there. So after about every 2 or 3, I usually will go through and clean it. Pampered Chef has this really, really neat dual-sided cleaning brush. It kind of looks like a toothbrush. Not for your teeth, though. It'll actually clean that really, really well. Rinse it under water in between uses so it can clean up those seeds. And then we're going to go right back and do a couple more. Oh, I forgot to tell you. User error. You are going to have this little piece left when you're all done. So it's not a ton of waste. You can eat this. You can saute it. You can throw it in a gallon Ziploc bag. And then when you fill the whole thing up, make your own veggie stock. So those guys are good to save. And then you start with the next one. And you keep doing this motion until you get all your zucchini and squash the way that you want it. And we're actually going to make a homemade bruschetta sauce. Thank you, Sydney. Everyone loves the graphics and double screens. My husband's a genius. He's kind of awesome, so feel free to give him all the mad props for that. He goes, hey, I have this idea. What do you think? And I just said, oh, sounds good to me. Hi, Steph. Michelle's saying hi to you. Okay, so we do have some really fun graphics planned. I know Steven's working hard on getting everything done. So while I'm sitting here spiralizing, why don't you guys tell me what your favorite products are? And if you have any questions about any specific products that I can answer while I'm sitting here spiralizing, I can do that because I can see all your stuff. Great job, Steven. He's amazing. He's actually, what did you call this? He's producing he's producing this whole video. So so he's in the background as my producer. So when I get really famous, just kidding. Remember, it was him. Okay, so we're moving on to our squash, same thing. And of course, I'm probably gonna have to move to that point where I need to rinse this bad boy and clean it. Michelle especially likes Sassy Chef Christina cartoon. That actually came from our very first week that we were moved to Oviedo about 3 years ago. We were visiting IKEA, which, by the way, if I had known that such a store existed, my entire house would be decorated differently. But we went to IKEA to go and see what they had and ended up with this adorable cartoonist there, like does all the pictures. So he did all of ours, and he asked me what I did, and I said, well, I'm a chef, and that's where that came from. So it's kind of exciting. So Stephen took and adapted that and added some extras to it. So so that is my sassy chef Christina. Okay, everybody loves the Rock Crock. We are going to get to that because we're going to be making a 5-minute chocolate s'mores cake in the microwave, and then we're going to throw it under the broiler and toast up some marshmallows. So it's too bad that this stuff doesn't have smell-o-vision because you guys would be in heaven. All right, I'm going to rinse this, and then I'm going to come back and finish spiralizing some more. I need this. And just like that, oh, he's watching me wash dishes. Stephen is supposed to be the dishwasher. I don't know when that's changed and I became the dishwasher. I'm not a fan. Just kidding. I love him. Okay, so Jenny is so impressed by this. The veggie spiralizer is amazing. Michelle is the queen of all things veggie spiralizing. And Melanie, we are going to get to the scissors, which I call them the salad choppers, later because we're going to be using that to cut up our chicken. So, so yeah, so Jenny's impressed by this. The garlic press is amazing too. We're going to be using that. You must know this menu. Actually, about a year ago, I did this menu with Michelle. She came over here with all her friends, and we made the zucchini linguine, and my husband said, how come you don't make this good food for me? We were just having this conversation today. So, so yeah, so it's kind of exciting. And take out your extra little bonus piece. I'll end up with quite the entourage. So I wanted to show you real quick. Right now, I only have 1 squash and 1 zucchini in here, up or low, up. And already I filled half of this deep cover baker. Now, when you're cooking with vegetables, they are going to shrink a little bit. So you're going to get some of that shrinkage. That's why we load it up, because it can handle it. And it's going to shrink down a little bit. But we're going to be making a no scissors. Are you talking about the professional shears? Let me find mine. They're around here somewhere. But yeah, the brownie pan's also amazing. That bad boy sells itself, which is really neat. $20, great for any gift. The garlic press is awesome. One of my absolute favorites. So, so yeah, we have a lot of favorites out there. Okay, what is something that is on your wish list that you haven't been able to get yet? Melanie, I'll look for my shears. They got to be around here somewhere. I don't know. We'll find them. But yes, we do have professional shears. They look like a scissor. And then we also have the salad choppers, which is a double blade. And I'm going to show you guys those here in a little bit. Okay, so we almost, and I think I'm actually not going to use the last squash because we got a ton of food. And it's kind of late to eat. So we'll put this in here. We'll save this bad boy for later. And I'm going to show you, oh, forgot a piece. And I'm going to show you how to make a homemade bruschetta sauce. Just getting some of the seeds out. So with the homemade bruschetta sauce, we're going to use fresh tomatoes. We're going to be using some fresh basil and fresh garlic in there, and also olive oil because you can't do a bruschetta without the olive oil. Devin, I love my grill pan and press. We are going to be using that guy too so we can grill up some chicken that I did forget to pull out and prep, so I'll be walking away in just a minute. Okay, so we have our veggies in here. Put all my scraps in the trash for now because I'll forget to use them later. Let's be real. Okay, so for our bruschetta sauce, we're actually going to be using our manual food processor. And Manny's one of my favorite products that we sell. For those of you who have been around Pampered Chef for a while, you're probably very familiar with our food chopper. This one is what I call our food chopper on steroids because it's a ton of fun to use. And you can chop with it, you can mix and blend. It's great for homemade salsa, guacamole. You can use it for smoothies for two. You can also make baby food in here. So if you like baby food or you have babies that need to eat, you can whip up some cool stuff. So we're going to be working with, I don't know how I should, this way, doesn't matter. So I'm going to teach you how to cheat and not to cut up all your stuff by hand. So we're going to actually run our tomatoes through. So you want 3 tomatoes. Now a tip when you're picking tomatoes is if you're going to be pureeing them anyways, get ones that are a little softer. If you want to be making a homemade sauce with them, if you want them for slicing purposes, pick the firmer tomatoes because it'll hold their shape when you're slicing. So this veggie wedger just slices these bad boys right down. Works great for anything that does not have a core. So tomatoes work really well with it. You would not want to do apples unless you core the apple first. And we're going to put these into our manual food processor, but I'm going to take them out because I forgot to tell you about this. So just dump them all everywhere. So the manual food processor, I have nicknamed him Manny because he's my kitchen assistant. And here, my kitchen assistant. So, and some cool things about Manny, it has this little grip on the bottom. So this is designed to stick on your countertop when you're working with it. So it's not going to move all over the place on you or end up, you know, where you're chasing it. So it's going to stay in place, but that actually comes out. So that way you can get a good clean on it. So it comes off. And about once every 3 months, my amazing husband bleaches them for me because he likes them very, very clean. And mine go in and out of my bag in my house, into your house, and back into my bag. And mine look pretty disgusting, but this one is actually a brand new one. Not really brand new, it's probably 3 months old. The other cool thing is it has these blades. So you'll notice that the blades are not at the same height level. That's on purpose so that it can chop, mix, and blend all together. All of these pieces, dishwasher safe. You're good to go. This has a little sticker on it. It says, hey, don't put me anywhere in near water. I like to say that Manny does not like to, he doesn't like to swim. He does not like his head to go underwater. So keep this little sticker on as a reminder to you and anyone else in your kitchen that is washing dishes. If you submerge this in water, you will end up, he'll cry for days. You'll hear it. Water will be in there. And then when you push it, water will just come out, and it's gonna take a while for that to dry. So now that I've told you about it, we're gonna put these tomatoes back in here. So I process these one at a time because it's gonna make that nice, the reason we have aprons, wipe our hands, and it just sits right on top. So you're gonna find where it sits, and then you're just gonna pump. So if you are a righty, pump towards you. If you are a lefty, pump away from you, and you guys are good to go. Hi, Jenny's husband. I'm going to be meeting you tomorrow. And actually, Jenny, this is the same bruschetta sauce. We're going to make at your party tomorrow night. So I'm super excited. Thanks, Louise. And yeah, so see what we're doing here? We're mushing it all up. That's what we want it to look like. So we're going to repeat this process multiple times. Can you see me down here? Okay, so we want it to look like mush. And the problem is I can't see me because I'm super self-conscious, and my husband knows me well enough to know not to show me myself. So I'll watch this when we're done and critique myself. So feel free to give me some constructive criticism. Tell me if I talk too fast, because I kind of do. Hey, Lanisha. And yeah, so we're going to mix this a couple times. Like I said, if you're a righty, pump towards you. Lefty, pump away from you, or alternate for an equal workout. My trainer would be so proud. Look at my arms today. Okay, so we've got 2 in here, and we're starting to make our mush. This is yummy stuff. And we're going to actually mix in the next few ingredients all at the same time. So we're going to, again, put our last tomato in. But this time I'm going to add some fresh basil, and we're going to put some fresh garlic in here as well. So for those of you who have a green thumb, Publix is my green thumb, because I can't grow anything. This is my green thumb. Hey, Monica, you're fine. We're just getting started with our zucchini linguine. To recap all of those that came in late, we have spiralized 2 zucchini, 1 squash, and filled almost the entire deep covered baker. And we're making our homemade bruschetta sauce. So we're going to take these fresh basil leaves and put those in. I put a ton in. Stephen does not like as many as I do, but I load the thing up because I love me some fresh Steven's saying no in the background. No,
That's too much.
no more basil. It smells so good though.
But I want to eat it.
He wants to eat it, so I have to stop. All right, so then we're also going to take and press some fresh garlic. So for those of you who have our garlic press, I'm sure you love it. It might have been redesigned since the last time that you saw it. It used to have the food holder up here in the top. Now, or not the food holder, the little cleaning tool used to be here in the top. It's now, looks like a little Barbie's hairbrush. This is how I always say it at my parties. So if you have little girls at home and you have our garlic press and you're missing this, check with your daughter. She could be using it for Barbie. And Steven is smelling the basil and he's not a fan. He's over there making faces at me. My apologies. Okay, so the way that this little cleaning brush works is that you put your garlic in with the peel and all. You don't have to peel it at all before you put it in. And you just press that fresh garlic out. And you're going to take the flat side of Barbie's hairbrush and clean all that yummy garlic out because we want the good garlic. And then if you're lucky, the skin pops off the top. So you don't have to worry about having your hands smell like garlic for 3 days. But if they do, you can get really cozy with your stainless steel appliances and then rinse them under cold water, or take a spoon and put that in between your hands under cold water and it'll pull that garlic smell right up for you. Okay, I put 2 garlic cloves in there this time. My lipstick is amazing. It's actually been on for about 3 hours. It's that lip stain stuff, and it stays without leaving a mark. That's kind of fun. All right, so if you have a little piece in here that gets stuck, like this one is, that's where the little bristles come into play. So the little bristles will pop this bad boy right up, and then you can dig that little part out so you don't have to end up with any garlic. Okay, so now comes the part where I don't measure because we're cooking. Who measures unless you're baking? Okay, so we've got 3 tomatoes, several basil, we've put some fresh garlic, and then this is my Italian here. You put a drizzle of olive oil all the way around this bad boy. So if you're measuring, it's probably 3 tablespoons, but I don't measure. Top goes back on, and we're going to process all this together. So you'll see something cool happening. You got it on the screen. So you'll see that the basil is mixing all in between because it's pushing it up and down to get it all nice and chopped. So we're working with this bad boy just to mix and blend and chop it all together. Louise, you're amazing. She loves me. And Michelle, I've been doing this for 6 years. Really, right now I feel like I'm going to throw up because I've never done a Facebook Live like this, so I'm kind of terrified. You probably can't see it because Steven has the lighting very, very well, but I am probably blushing for this whole thing. Okay, so this is what our sauce looks like. So it's all blended together. So all our sauce is here. So we're going to take this and just dump it right on top of all these yummy veggies. As long as he doesn't show you my sink side, we're good. That's where I'm throwing everything. Okay, so I am going to take and just kind of mix this together because I want to kind of get all of that mess. Sorry. I want to get it all blended around. Now this only takes about 5 minutes in the microwave because you don't want to overcook your noodles. You want to make them nice and soft, but not over soft. And how awesome is Christina? Jeez, you guys are too funny. Okay, these are cool. These were 60% off last month. You can always get them as a host, half price. These are the salt and pepper grinders. I like a little bit of salt, so we're going to mix that in there. For those of you that like fresh ground pepper, it's perfect. Get a little bit of pepper in there. We're going to throw the top on this bad boy, and I'm going to bring over the chicken, which I need to get. Then we're going to move on to my favorite part, which is dessert. All right, so we're going to go 5 minutes here. And if you can see the stove, I'm cooking on gas. So I'll give you a tip here. This guy is our 12-inch grill pan and press. The press is heavy. That's on purpose. You want to make amazing paninis. You want to do some bacon on there, get it nice and crisp. You can do that. Also great for your chicken, pork chop, steak, anything. You can also do omelets on here. Slice it up with a nylon knife and roll those bad boys right in this guy. These also have a lifetime warranty because it's in our cookware line, and our cookware is a really fun place to be. So we got that going on here. Let me clean up this mess and get ready for the chicken because I'm going to show you how to use our closing cut. A lot of times what happens is people cook chicken and then they get really upset because I teach you how to not let it do that. Chicken. Okay, so I'm actually preheating this together. So you'll notice that my flame is going on the bottom here. I'm preheating it with the press because it's actually going to cut back on your cook time. Because typically what happens is when you're cooking chicken, you put it on, you flip, you flip, you flip. You just can't, by the time you're done cooking it, it's already ruined. It's really dried out chicken. So I'm going to teach you how to stop that. You can actually either use our meat tenderizer, but I'm actually going to show you the closing cut because that one's kind of neat. And we're going to be using a very sharp knife to cut into that plastic. And I will have to wash my hands a million times once we're done with the chicken because I get grossed out. Okay, so we're going to take 2 chicken breasts. And I'm a righty, so I should go this way so you can see. Okay, and I'm actually going to use our chef's knife. So the reason why I'm switching to the 8-inch chef's knife is because when you're using the closing cut, you want the knife to be longer than the entire thing when it's closed. So can you guys see that action there? Yep, the closing cut is the coolest, and I don't know what I do without this thing because it's pretty amazing. So this actually works really well for cutting your cherry tomatoes, grapes, olives if they don't have a pit, because I tried it with pits, it does not work because you can't cut through it. But also for butterflying chicken. You can also take your regular bagels and make them skinny bagels. If you have kids like mine, they don't eat a ton, and then they waste half the bagels. So you can cut those bad boys in half. But what this is going to do is it's going to take and butterfly these chicken breasts. So if you haven't seen this guy in action, Pampered Chef has a really cool video. I can post the link to it later. But you can actually, it tells you more than what I'm saying. Or you can just listen to me. That's fine too. So anyone have this and use it for anything besides what I mentioned? First time using it was at a team meeting. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, so what this does, it actually has springs on both sides that are going to push equal distance apart. So you throw your whole chicken breast in here. You take your knife, line it up, and then you just put the top down and you slice all the way to the back. And then there you have it. 2 chicken cutlets. We just cut them ourselves and saved about 10 bucks. I buy chicken in bulk because we meal prep now. So yeah, so we got our chicken here, and I'm actually going to be seasoning these guys with our Italian. Now I actually use 2 seasonings, and I need to wash my hands, so ignore the water. Okay. There we go. Now I can touch the chicken again and wash my hands again and touch the chicken again and wash my hands again because that's how this is going to go. All right, so I use 2 seasoning mixes together. My 2 favorite, if you're looking to spice up your kitchen, is Pampered Chef's Italian seasoning, which is great for everything, and the garlic and herb. So I mix these guys together, and my rule with chicken is that you cover it until there's no naked parts. Seasoning is the chicken's clothing. So cover those bad boys up so there are no naked parts. Let me find my baby tongs. There we go. I want to touch these guys as little as possible. Tongs come into play. So if you guys want to see the comparison, these are the small, these are the chef's. So if you're looking for some really neat tongs, we got you covered there too. So I'm flipping all these guys over so that I can do the Italian on the back. And I should teach you how they open because I don't want you pinching yourselves in them later. And then we're going to go back and put all of our other seasoning. So when you're holding the tongs, you actually can't, that doesn't just open. You have to squeeze it closed. This little ball is going to drop. Our pasta's done. And then it's ready to go. So we've got our Italian on there. We're going to add our garlic and herb. Again, my favorite spices. And I'm covering it so that there's no naked parts. All of our spices, for those of you who have allergy concerns, they are all gluten-free. They actually were always gluten-free, which is kind of cool. They just had to switch manufacturing plants so that they could actually market it as gluten-free because the plant itself was not. Other tip, when you are cooking on gas, this gets hot. So you want to make sure that you're grabbing an oven mitt. And these are my lobster claws. They're actually quilted on the inside, and they're silicone on the outside, so they can handle a really high heat, which is really, really neat. So, so for those of you who want to know, you can dishwasher these to get them clean. It takes about 2 days for them to dry, but you can dishwasher them. It gets really clean up in there. But this is going to be hot, so I'm going to take that bad boy off, and you're going to hear, hopefully, the sizzle. And then let me tell my chicken and my veggies that it's done. So you'll hear the sizzle because I've preheated it together. And you only want to give this a couple of minutes on each side. And then we're going to put that lid back on. Because since it's gotten all hot together, it is going to take less time to cook. And that's the key, really, to having your chicken cook really fast. You want to cook it quickly. You want to give it a few minutes. Leave it alone while you're cooking it. Because, and I'm cleaning up as I go. My hubby would be so proud. I kind of think he is. All right. Let me grab these bad boys. Okay, so I am going to be given some prizes during this. I looked around to see why my microwave was beeping. It's my microwave! Yep, because our pasta is done. So I told you it only takes about 5 minutes, and the chicken's going to be done really, really quick. So I'm going to flip it once, maybe twice, we'll see. But while the chicken's cooking and our pasta is done, I'm going to move on to dessert. I'm going to wash my hands again, so give me a minute. Figure I should check on our food. Okay, so you're going to see all that steam. I don't know if it shows well on camera, but so what we have here is our fully cooked yummy zucchini linguine here. So if you are a vegetarian, stop here. This is done. This pan, this one, Tara, is the deep covered baker. The one back here is the grill pan and press, has a lifetime warranty. Stoneware has a 3-year warranty. So we have all those natural juices in there too. And we're going to let this guy sit with the lid on because stoneware is designed to retain the heat. Okay, so now we're going to move on to a microwave cake. Let me wash my hands again because even though I feel like they're clean, chicken grosses me out. Okay. Getting stuff ready. Okay, so I'm actually going to start with melting our chocolate first. That's going to go at the very top of our cake. So the cake we're making is one of my favorites. It's a chocolate s'mores cake. And we're going to be making that bad boy right here in our Everyday Rock Crock. So the Everyday Rock Crock is a 2.5 quart. So I showed you the deep covered baker earlier. The deep covered baker is about double this size in what it can hold. And it's very similar to our Dutch oven rock crock that is under the, oh, higher. There we go. He's directing me. The Dutch oven rock crock that's behind me. So if you want to see comparisons, I can pull it out. But this one here is really neat. The rock crocks themselves go on the stovetop, in the microwave, under the broiler, in the oven. That one would be a smart one. Outside on the grill, and they are dishwasher safe. And Tara, I am with you. I hate handling chicken. It grosses me out. But so this guy goes everywhere. It's pretty much husband-proof. Unless your husband cooks, then it might be a proof from you. Sorry, Chris. I know you're watching. You probably cook really well. All right, I need to find my little micro cooker because I forgot where I put that bad boy. So you know what? I'll switch. We'll go here. Okay. My whole kitchen is pretty much Pampered Chef, so if there's a product you want to see, let me know. I can grab it out of the pantry for you. All right, so we got our chicken looking pretty yummy over here. Maybe if I can grab it left-handed. All right, so I am going to bring this over so you guys can see these beautiful grill lines. And here the sizzle. You see those grill lines? Lower. There we go. All right, so this is what the grill pan does. So this one's the 12-inch or the 11-inch square grill pan. And it's going to cook the other side of that. Then we're going to let the chicken sit because it's going to be done. And yes, we are using Hershey bars. So we're going to actually break those up and put them right here inside our silicone prep bowls. So these are, they come in a set of 3. And they all nest together and hang out like a fun little family with all the lids on there. And don't worry if you forgot the chocolate bars. I got them buy one, get one free at Publix. I'll bring them. Just remind me tomorrow. And I won't forget. Okay, Mike would flip over all this stuff because he cooks. Well, tell Mike to join us. He can totally do that. All right, so I'm going to take these chocolate bars and just break them up and hang them out in our silicone prep bowl. We're going to melt them in the microwave. And then I'm going to move on to our cake, which is the easiest cake you'll ever see in your entire life. It's literally a half a cake mix, some sour cream, and 1 egg. And you might think, oh my gosh, that's disgusting. It's super yummy. I'm actually going to be taking this cake to work tomorrow. So if Diane or Tara is on watching, this is what I'll be bringing in so you guys can enjoy it all and eat it because it's pretty yummy. Okay, so what this is I'm just melting all this chocolate because I'm going to drizzle it on the top when our cake is done. So I'm going to do this in 30-second increments while that's working. Now, you guys are lucky I've already made this recipe once. If you are, it's a recipe you can buy all the ingredients for, make it once, cook it twice. So when you're doing this recipe at home, it's half of a Devil's Food cake mix. And I do have this recipe. If you remind me at the end, I can post the link. But it's half of a cake mix, which is like 2 3/4 cup, I think, somewhere around there. An 8 ounce of sour cream and 1 egg. And I'm actually going to mix this all in the rock crock because there's no point in getting another dirty dish dirty. And before I move on, does anyone have our spatulas? Anyone have these guys? Maybe? I'm going to turn that guy on broil. And I'm going to turn off the chicken because it's done. And look, 30 seconds and we have this super delicious thing going on. He said it'll be oh, here we go. All right, so at 30 seconds, perfectly melted chocolate. This is the part to eat. But I have nicknamed these guys, and I'm going to apologize now if I offend anyone, but I nicknamed these my Baywatch spatulas because they're skinny on the bottom, big on top, and full of silicone. And they do come in sizes from training bra to double D. This one's actually a C cup. It's the small mix and scraper. And did you know that every product has a birthday? So when you get home, if you flip over your scrapers, there's this little clock on the back. It actually points to the month that your scraper was manufactured, and it has the year on either side of that arrow. So you guys will be able to check those out. Okay, and they are flexible. They don't come apart. You're not going to end up with the stick in one drawer and the head in another. So it kind of all stays together. They don't stain, but I will tell you a funny story. If they do stain, you can actually sit them out in the sun and it'll pull up any of that staining on them. Just don't do like I did and put it on the hood of your car and forget it was there because that's what I did. And then I drove off and forgot them. So yeah, then I came home, I'm like, where did I put my spatula? And I remembered it was on the hood of my car, except that it wasn't, and it ended up, you know, on the road, and I never got it back. Another tip, if you are baking, if you keep your eggs out at room temperature before you cook with them, it's actually going to bring out more flavor in that dessert for you. So we've got our egg in here, we've got our 8 ounces of sour cream in here, and we're going to mix the rest of this cake mix. And it's going to almost end up looking like a chocolate mousse. Throw all my trash away. You can probably see my big mess, right? No? Okay, good. Just keep hiding it. Okay, so this is going to end up looking like a chocolate mousse. If you wanted to mix this up in a bowl and then transport it to here, you can. But, yeah, Melanie, true story. If you wanted to mix it up in a bowl first, you can, but why dirty another dish? I just have to clean it later. So I just do it all in the same one. So it's getting a little bit wet here. It's going to end up looking like a chocolate mousse. And we're going to start this bad boy at 4 minutes in the microwave and then see how it looks. And I'm going to show you how that cake is going to end up turning out We already have our chocolate all melted. I'm making a big mess in the kitchen right now. And I turned off the stove, so we're good there. And I've got my broiler ready because once this cake is done, we're going to put the rest of these marshmallows on top and throw it under the broiler so we can toast them nice. And I'm just making a chocolate mousse here, so I'll show you guys that as soon as I get it all mixed around. I probably should have mixed my liquids a little bit better before adding my cake mix. It's all good. It's all going to eat the same. For those of you who are viewing this from one of the Facebook groups from the virtual parties this month, welcome. Hopefully you're commenting. I might not be able to see your comments if you're posting in the group, but I will catch up on them when we're done here and be able to answer any of your questions. Okay, so right now, you can see all the chocolate on my fingers. This is actually the hardest part of my job, not licking my fingers while I'm cooking food. But you'll see here how it's got all of this cake, and it's kind of staying in the middle. But what's going to happen is this cake is going to expand, and it's going to fill this entire space. All right, so let me put this down. I'll be good and not lick the chocolate. Okay, then the lid for this guy is right here in front of me. All right, oh, I should show you. All right, which camera? This one? Okay, so it looks like a chocolate mousse, and it kind of looks like I've made a mess. It's all good. It's gonna eat perfectly. I leave it about ½ inch away from the entire edge because it's going to expand. So again, like I said, we're gonna start it at 4 minutes, and then we'll go from there. In the meantime, I'm going to show you guys how our salad choppers work. And I want to make sure our chicken's nice and cooked. Okay, so it's much easier to shred your chicken if it's in a bowl like this. If you cooked, so hubby cleans, right? Yes, that's typically the rule in this house, but he's producing this video, so I'll probably still be cleaning up for myself, and he'll be eating all of this food after, so, you know. I love this Morris cake. Yes, it's pretty yummy. Okay, so if you have a bowl you can put your chicken in to kind of contain it, I'm going to show you how these bad boys work. So the salad choppers are really neat because I think I might have used them for salad 5 or 6 times in 6 years, but it does work really great with chicken. So I use it for cutting up cooked chicken or shredding pulled pork and those kind of things. So I teach it what I call backwards, but it's really the right way. Typically what happens is when you think about the salad choppers, you want to hold them like this, but that is awkward. It's very, very awkward. So I hold it with my 4 fingers in the loop that has the little lock mechanism. So the red side is where my fingers go here. Then I chop towards me, so I'm going to push the food into the scoop. So it works really, really well to cut all of this up. So you kind of get up under the chicken and just shred it to pieces. Mike's and band producers clean up. Oh yeah, okay. Just saying. Oh yeah. So they clean up, the band producers. All right, so you see how quick and easy that shred is on this chicken. So it's kind of cool because this works really, really well. These also have a lifetime warranty, and they can go in the dishwasher. I will tell you the trick though. When you put these in, and sometimes you'll end up with food here. That's okay. You just take the little tongs or your finger and you just clean that right out. So now we have all of our shredded chicken, and it's pretty neat to have it all like that. You can also do this with egg salad, chicken salad, any of that. If you're going to dishwasher this, take this little spring out. Sorry. Okay, so you want to take the little spring out of the back here, because if you dishwasher it with the spring in, it's going to rust. And then you have to send the whole thing back to Pampered Chef and wait for them to send you a new one. And that's a very sad day, which is why I have 2. I was impatient about another one. It arrived faster than the replacement did. Okay, so our chicken is done, and we are going to take and add our yummy chicken to our fresh pasta that we made. And of course, you can always add extra stuff to this. I got chicken I didn't quite cut, so I'll get that back over here. So for those of you who don't have the classic batter bowl, that's this bad boy. It is glass, so you can microwave in it. You can also dishwasher it, of course, fridge or freezer it, and you are good to go. Okay, so I'm going to mix all of this together. And I know I'm running short on time because I told you guys we'd be here for an hour. We did start a few minutes late because of our technical difficulties, but I got just a few more minutes. So if you guys will hang tight with me, I'll show you the rest of this. Okay, so this is our finished zucchini linguine. So, so that's what it looks like all done. You can always do more bruschetta sauce. You can also do, if you like shrimp, you could grill some shrimp and put it in there. If you want it without any meat, you're good to go there too. Our cake is probably done. So we're going to put the lid on this and let it hang out. Okay, so I will tell you, when you're cooking with the Rock Crock, it doesn't get hot unless you're cooking on the stovetop or out on the grill. And if you pull it out of the oven, of course. You can microwave in this thing and still lift it. And now the glass is a little hot, so we're going to put this guy up. So you'll see the steam again. And I'm going to show you how this cake looks. So you see how it expanded? Oh, that steam. So it expands all the way around. And what I look for on this cake is that there's no wet spots. So right now we're looking pretty good. It has a little bit of wet around the edges, so I'm going to put it in for 30 more seconds, just so that way I can get some of that moisture off. And then we're going to load it with the marshmallows and throw it into the broiler. Now when you're using the Rock Crock under the broiler, you do not want to keep the lid on it. It'll shatter that glass lid, so take the lid off if you're going under the broiler. And cakes in the microwave are fantastic. Now this is a s'mores cake, and no cake would be a s'mores without our crushed graham crackers. So you guys saw me use the manual food processor earlier for our bruschetta sauce. You could use that to chop these bad boys up too, but you can just take the meat tenderizer, get some aggression out, chop those up. This guy's really neat too because they're done and our cake is done. Ta-da! Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're just going to throw the marshmallows on top. So again, I told you, you make this recipe, you buy the ingredients once, you make it twice, because it's about half the bag of marshmallows the first time around and then half the bag the second time around. So you kind of want to cover it where it's all together, and then I'm going to babysit it because it goes quickly from toasted to burned. The other key is you want to take the rack out and move it a little bit closer to that heat source. Okay. If the detector goes off, so sorry. But yes, this is very quick cooking, and that's what Pampered Chef is all about. We like doing quick meals in the microwave or in the stove or on the stovetop or one pot wonders, anything, because Pampered Chef's whole mission is to bring people back around the table. And I always joke and I say, I don't know whose idea it was for us women or men to slave in the kitchen, but that's no fun. Let's get in and get out and spend more time with our families. So while we're waiting, we got about 45 seconds until our toasted marshmallows are ready. Do you guys have any questions for me or anything I can answer? I know Jenny was going to be asking me a ton of questions, and I haven't seen any yet. Just teasing you. It's sugar-free, right? Of course. It's a weeknight. All calories are free. Just kidding. This one's really calorie-induced. This guy, the veggie pasta, perfect. You'll be good. You can eat all of that. And the spiralizer is amazing, Nicole. You will not regret your purchase at all. All right, I'm still watching them. I have the oven vented because I want to be able to look in and see that it's not burning. There are those people who like their marshmallows fully burned and then you take off the burn part and eat the gooey middle. I am not that person. I don't like burned marshmallows because then all I taste is the burnt. Chris says he needs to talk to you about this cool setup. He was the one who was here for game night. He's shaking his head. Okay, so that is pretty much the show. I will get this cake out and I'm going to drizzle the chocolate on it as well as top it with our crushed graham crackers. And then that is easy breezy. Do you have the kitchen spritzer? I do. That's this guy here. So the kitchen spritzer is you put your fresh oil, you have a line to put up to it, and then you just pump the handle and then spray all over yourself or on what you need. Tara, we can definitely get you set up with a party this month. So what I wanted you to see here was the hour-long live to see if you wanted to do something like that. And it looks like my broiler is taking its sweet time. I always forget I'm cooking on gas. Okay, so while we're waiting, I'll show you some cool stuff that you get if you decide to host your own party, because Tara's going to be doing that this month. So this is, when I do this at my shows, I always say this is the part of my job where I get to be Vanna White. So, so feel free to ooh and ah. So for those of you who are there, feel free to ooh and ah in the comments, and you'll be good to go. So I whip this guy up. Ooh, ah.
Ooh, ah.
Thank you. My peanut gallery. Let me make sure I'm not burning marshmallows. So as a host, you're going to earn free products because we like free. And we like to really spoil our hostesses with some great free products. You can earn up to 5 items or sets at 50% off. You can also earn up to 30% off on your personal order, plus save 10% for an entire year. We do have a different monthly host special that changes from month to month. So this month is 60% off our stoneware. So if you love our stoneware or love to gift it, let me know. We can hook you up with a party. And you get a future party pick. So from every person who books a show from your show, you get an extra half-priced item that keeps going. And you get me. Oohs and ahs. I can't see that. Ooh, ah. Thank you, honey. So this is actually for the consultants watching. If you do not have this, you can get it on a supply order and get it there. Or ask me, if you're on my team, how to earn it for free. I don't know why this thing is not like... I think I'm past the broil part. I'm going to have to get a blowtorch. All right, so I'm still waiting on that. So while I'm doing that, I'll also show you the reverse side of this, which tells you a little bit about joining Pampered Chef and becoming a consultant. If you liked what you saw tonight and thought, oh my gosh, I can do this way better than Christina, you can. I have a ton of my team members are doing virtual right now. It's only on Facebook shows, not going live like this. That's a lot of pressure. But definitely a ton of fun to do the virtual parties or do the cooking shows. And this is what you get. Ooh, ah.
Ooh, ah.
Thank you. If you feel like joining our apron. So if you're looking for part-time, full-time, or just some extra spending money, we've got you covered. If you know, my average consultant earns between $100 and $120 a show. So that's, you know, one night a week if you're doing cooking shows or a few times a day posting on Facebook. You can earn free vacations. Can I see my apron? So on my apron, I have embroidered all of the trips that Pampered Chef has sent me and my husband on. So it's really neat. Your apron won't come embroidered like this, but I have a gal who can hook you up. But but Pampered Chef is really great to us as consultants, and we can earn an amazing trip, which is really neat. You can hold as many shows as you want. Of course, you're going to make some more money as you start building your own team. But they give us free products as well as money, which is always good. And we do have a great way to give back. So our adorable emoji cookie cutters, which I think were in here. Let me find them. Nope, they're hiding. I'll post the link to them, but our emoji cookie cutters, it's a set of 7 for $10. $1 goes back to the Feeding America campaign. Pampered Chef is their #1 supporter. Thanks, Chris. He oohed and awed. Whoop, whoop. My husband's giving you a dirty look, just saying. But $1 of each of those cookie cutter sets goes back to our Feeding America campaign, and we love to be able to support them. Also, if you hear me ask you if you want to round up your order, that change stays here with the Second Harvest Food Bank. That's local to where the party is. So if you have a party in Seminole County, that change is staying here in Seminole County. So lots of oohs and ahs are coming now. Thank you. And we do have an app for that. You can run your entire business from your smartphone, Apple, Android, or tablet. And we do have a big pajama party coming up in Chicago in August. So if you want to come join us at our national conference, it's phenomenal, so much fun. And we do training here in Oviedo, Florida, twice a month. But I can connect you to anywhere local to you if you're not local to here and you want to attend some live training. Okay, let me check on these marshmallows that are taking their sweet time. They're getting bigger, but they're not toasting. So clearly my broiler hates me. Okay, so with that, Thank you for all the oohs and ahs. And Jenny has been a consultant for 2 months only. That's pretty cool. Monica just joined us last month, and she's completely virtual. She actually travels with her boyfriend forever, and she's always on the road. So she's like, hey, mine as well. I'm just sitting here. So if you have any tips for her, post them on the team page because that's really fun. Okay, it is 9:31. I have cooked a main dish and a dessert and had plenty of time to talk. The dishes themselves don't take very long. I'm sure you guys saw that. It's pretty easy, and I have all of these products available in the catalog and all of these recipes for you as well. This zucchini linguine, I added the grilled chicken, and I did not use jarred marinara. I used a homemade, which you guys saw, but it's super, super simple. So if you have any questions, now is the time to post them. And if not, then we're going to say goodnight. And I'll read back through the comments and watch how terrible I look. He's giving me dirty looks again. Thank you, Sue. Big oohs and ahs from Sue. If you are watching this on a Facebook group page, do not listen to any of the links Stephen is posting. You want to post with the link on your host's party so she gets credit. I know there's several of you probably watching on here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and watching me cook. And please feel free to give me some feedback. Everyone who gives me feedback on how the show went, what you liked, what improvements you'd want to see for the next one. I'm going to put you guys all into a drawing for some freebies. And I'll show you what they are. So I'm going to give away a little fun set of our flexible cutting mats. It's a smaller version of the cutting mats that I used tonight. And honey, everyone's saying you did a great job. And I'm also going to do a second one for our Grill It Quick little cookbook. Summer's coming up, but if you're in Florida, we grill all the time. So I'll be raffling these guys off, so feel free to put all of your comments, feedback, all of that on this video thread, so that way, ooh, no, it's still good. I will post a picture of the final cake when it's done because my broiler hates me. Thank you, everyone, for participating, for commenting, and helping me with this first live virtual party. I'm a few minutes over my time, but I so appreciate you spending your Thursday night with me. And let me know what recipes you'd like to see in the future. Bye, guys.